Today we're going to do a review of this 2006 Toyota Solara SLE. It is a V6 model. Color is called Absolutely Red, which is a perfect color for it. Never liked red cars, ended up buying this one, love it. Now, I've had this car for probably 5 years. Haven't really had to do much to it outside of maintenance. I think I did the timing belt service, which was about $600. The only thing other than that I had to do is I believe change a power steering return hose line, which was $30. Otherwise, it's just gotten oil changes. So like I said, this color is called Absolutely Red. This is the SLE model, so it is the top of the range model. So all the options on it. It is a 3.3 liter dual overhead cam V6. I believe the cost on this car new was about $30,210. It does make 225 horsepower. Anyway, it does have all of the options: alloy wheels, leather seats, power top, although not too many cars don't have that anymore. But I have added a couple of options, and I'll show you one right now. So like I said, I did add a couple of options to this car, one of which is this right here. This is the wind deflector. Make sure it doesn't get too windy in here when you're driving around, especially on the highway. It does make a huge difference. They make them for many models of convertibles. It's a couple $100 investment, but it's well worth it. I use this one all the time. Since I don't have kids, it's generally on the car, 24/7. And it's not powered, but all you do is grab the bar, put it back up. So very easy to do. One of the other options that I did add to this car is it had the satellite radio option, but it didn't have the system. So I did add the VIA system. It used the satellite button on the radio, which did nothing before, but now it switches over to satellite. So let's take a look at the inside. So like I said, this car does have all of the options. I do apologize, it is a little dirty. It has leather seats. They are heated, although I don't use them too often. Back seats, very comfortable, fits 4 people with no problem at all. And power mirrors, power top button, the all button, which is very interesting. Wasn't sure what this was when I initially got it, but it puts all of the windows up and down at one time, just with that one button. Typical controls. It does have, I'm not sure what it's called, but I think it's called like the Indiglo system, because they are backlit, which is actually pretty cool at night. I've seen a couple different systems, so I think it just depends on the model of vehicle you have. It does have the instrumentation system. It tells you average miles per gallon, distance to empty, all that kind of stuff, clock, and the temperature on the right side. It has the JBL 6-disc changer in the dash, cassette player, and satellite radio. It's quite an awesome system. It's got a subwoofer built in behind the rear seat. Looks great and sounds great. They did a great job with this. Extra storage, console, plenty of space in here. Just a bunch of junk in there. Towels to keep it clean. But now for what you probably want to do is let's go for a ride. Alright, so now we're going for a little drive. Sorry if it's a little bit noisy, but it is a convertible, and why would you drive it with the top up? Like I said, this car is actually pretty quick. It's got 225 horsepower. Very comfortable to drive, very quiet with the top up. I've had this car for, like I said, 5 years. It's been great. I've enjoyed it. I only put about 3,000 to 5,000 miles on it a year. I don't
drive it on crummy days. Usually if it's nice out, I'll drive it then. The top stays down like this most of the year, unless I'm washing it or, you know, it's happens to get caught out in the rain. If I'm working though, I sometimes will put the top up, just because it's kind of a pain. You gotta make a phone call or whatever to do it that way. So I've actually had this car, I think probably the fastest is maybe 100 miles an hour when I was down in Mexico. You know how that goes. Very comfortable to drive. Seats have some nice bolsters. They are heated. It's a little cool out right now. 62, 63. So I'll pop it on. Warm me up a little bit. It does have 131,661 miles. Very trouble-free. I have taken this car on many trips, and it does roughly between, I'd say about 24, 25 miles per gallon on the highway. Generally, it's mostly around town, so it'll get like 20 or 21. I believe the original specifications are for between 21 or 20 to 29 miles per gallon. I don't really worry about it too much. It's a fun car, just a cruiser. It is a blast to drive. I do get a lot of compliments on it. I was driving it earlier today and a car identical pulled up next to me. I've looked up the production numbers for this vehicle, and it looks like there were about 50,000 Solaras produced in 2006. I'm going to assume at least half of those were convertibles because it was very popular. This has kind of been the forgotten Toyota. Nobody really remembers it, but everybody has seen one. I assume that most of them were in areas, for example, Florida, Texas, nicer areas where people were buying convertibles. You're not going to see a lot of these in Nebraska or South Dakota and North Dakota, where the pickup truck is pretty much king of the road in those places. I believe the production run was 1998 to 2009, I think. Either 8 or 9. So I hope you're enjoying the video. I hope you enjoy my other videos. Seems a lot of people liked my Cadillac Eldorado video, so I'll try to do more vintage car content. I do have some more coming. Just a quick look at the engine bay. This has the variable valve timing, 3.3 liter V6. This is an interference engine, so make sure you do your timing belt service every 90,000 miles. This car actually has 131,000 miles. When I got it, it had 96, I believe. It's been pretty trouble-free. I did the timing belt service, as I mentioned, and a power steering return hose line. Well, let's take a look inside the trunk. This is actually quite a large trunk for a 4-passenger convertible. That's one of the reasons I bought it. I wanted to have room for 4 people and luggage. So, fits my golf clubs, no problem at all. I hope you liked the video of my 2006 Toyota Solara convertible. Now that it's starting to get a little later in the afternoon, and I happen to be right by my favorite cigar shop, I'm going to head on in. So thanks for watching. See you next time.